Hi, I am Golda Meir. I was born on May 3rd, 1898 in Kiev, Ukraine. When I was a teenager, I moved all by myself to Denver, Colorado. I am famous for becoming the first woman prime minister of Israel. If I could give one message to the world, it would be let your voice shine. I'm Israel Chai.
Hi, I'm Ruth Handler. I was born on November 4th, 1916 in Denver, Colorado. When I was young, I started working in a drugstore. I'm famous for inventing Barbie. If I could give one message to the world, it would be that you can be anything.
Hi, I'm Frida Kahlo. I was born July 6, 1907 in Mexico. When I was young, I got injured and I began to paint self-portraits. I'm famous for being one of the best artists in the world. If I could give one message to the world, it'd be pay your dreams and use your imagination.
Hi, I'm Michelle Kwan. I was born on July 7th, 1980 in Torrance, California. When I was young, I loved skating. I am famous for being one of the best figure skaters of all time. If I could give one message to the world, it'd be skate to your goal.
Hi, I'm Tom Brady. I was born on August 3rd, 1977 in San Mateo, California. When I was young, I loved sports and I was great at it. I am famous for being an awesome football quarterback. If I could give one message to the world, it would be to work hard and be a team player.
Hi, I'm Babe Ruth. I was born February 6, 1895 in Baltimore, Maryland. When I was young, I was the best player in the St. Mary's School. When I was young, I am famous for being one of the best baseball players ever. If I can give one message to the world, it would be to work hard until you hit a home run.
Hi, I am Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I was born on March 15, 1933 in Brooklyn, New York. When I was in high school, I got top grades. I am famous for being the first Jewish woman to ever serve at the Supreme Court. If I could give one message to the world, then it would be to always work hard and never let the gavel go down.
Hi, I'm Alexander Hamilton. I was born on January 11th, 1757 in Nevis, Caribbean. When I was young, my father left my family and my mother died. That meant I had to live with my uncle and start working at a young age. I am famous for helping write the Constitution. If I could give one message to the world, it would be, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
Hi, I am Nadia Comanici. I was born on November 12, 1961 in Anista, Romania. When I was young, I couldn't sit still. I was fearless and I loved climbing trees. I'm famous for being the first gymnast to get a perfect 10 in the Olympics Games. If I could give one message to the world, it would be, if you try hard, you can jump high and accomplish anything you want.
Hi, I'm Neil Armstrong. I was born on August 5th, 1930 in Wapakoneta, Ohio. When I was young, I made models of airplanes. I flew in an airplane for the first time when I was 6. I'm famous for being the first person to walk on the moon. If I can give one message to the world from me, it would be one should be brave in facing risky challenges.
Hi, I'm James Naismith. I was born on November 6, 1861 in Almont, Ontario. When I was young, I was athletic. I liked to play football and rugby. I'm famous for inventing basketball. If I could give one message to the world, it would be don't give up, you don't know what's ahead of you.
Hi, I'm Albert Einstein. I was born March 4th, 1879 in Ulm, Germany. When I was young, I imagined what it would be like to go as fast as light. I am famous for getting the Nobel Prize in Physics and my many discoveries. If I could give one message to the world, it would be when you can't prove a discovery right, just try again and again.
Hi, I'm Ann Judge. I was born on April 26, 1992 in Linden, California. When I was young, I played basketball, football, and baseball. I'm famous for hitting a 496-foot home run and playing on the Yankees. If I could give one message to the world, it would be take your dreams out.
Hi, my name is Ronald Reagan. I was born on February 6, 1911 in Tamco, Illinois. When I was young, I loved leading. I am famous for tearing down the Berlin Wall without firing a single missile or without shooting a single bullet and changing the course of history forever. If I could give one message to the world, it would be lead your life with pride.
Hi, I am Jalen Benson. I was born on August 31st, 1996 in New Brunswick, New Jersey, America. When I was young, I scored 56 points in a high school basketball game. I am famous for playing the NBA for the Mavericks and the Knicks. Additionally, I won the Finals 3 years in a row. If I could give one message to the world, it would be to believe in yourself that your shots will go in.
Hi, I'm Milton Nancy. I was born on September 13, 1857 in Pennsylvania. When I was young, I didn't finish school. I went to work and I learned how to make candy. I'm famous for Making healthy chocolate. If I could give one message to the world, it would be never give up and work hard for your dreams.
Hi, I'm Stephen Curry. I was born on March 14th, 1988 in Akron, Ohio. When I was young, I always dreamed of going to the NBA. I'm famous for being a skilled basketball player and shooting threes. If I could give one message to the world, it would be never give up so don't miss your shot.
Hi, I'm Aaron Judge. I was born on April 26, 1992, in Linden, California. When I was young, I always dreamed of playing for the Yankees. I am known for being one of the world's best baseball players. If I could give one message to the world, it would be if you work hard, you hit the spot.
Hi, I'm Sandy Koufax. I was born on December 30th, 1935 in Brooklyn, New York. In high school, I loved basketball. I even played against the New York Knicks. But in my senior year of high school, I switched to baseball. I'm famous for being one of the greatest lefty pitchers ever. If I could give one message to the world, it would be, if you're different, but there's always another way to think about it.
Hi, I'm Michelle Kwan. I was born on July 7th, 1980 in Torrance, California. When I was young, I wanted to be a figure skater. I am famous for being an Olympic champion at figure skating. If I can give one message to the world, it would be to skate to your goals.
Hi, I'm Simone Biles. I was born on March 14th, 1997 in Columbus, Ohio. When I was younger, I went on a field trip to a place that teaches kids gymnastics. I saw people flipping in the air. I was inspired and wanted to be a gymnast when I grew up. I'm famous for my gymnastics moves that most people can't even do. If I can give one message to the world, it'll be keep flipping and don't let your failures in your way.
Hi, I am Marcus Notch Pearson. I was born on June 1st, 1979 in Esbjerg, Sweden. When I was younger, I programmed my computer at home to make adventure games. I am famous for making the world famous game Minecraft. If I could give one message to the world, it would be if you never give up, you could build dreams bigger than you ever imagined.
Hi, I'm Ben Franklin. I was born on January 17, 1706 in Boston, Massachusetts. When I was young, I would experiment with things to try to make life better. I'm famous for discovering electricity. If I could give one message to the world, it would be to stay curious. You never know when something electrifying could turn up.
Hi, I'm Harry Houdini. I was born on March 24th, 1874 in Budapest, Hungary. When I was young, I saw my first magic show and loved it. I'm famous for being the best magician in the world. If I could give one message to the world, it would be make your life magical.
Hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I was born on February 24, 1965, San Francisco, California. When I was young, I enjoyed using and creating electronics. I'm famous for inventing Apple. If I could give one message to the world, it would be original and create your dreams.
Hi, I'm George Washington. I was born on February 22nd, 1732. When I was young, I was the smartest kid in school. I am famous for being the first president of the United States. If I could give one message to the world, it would be to lead. You must live your life with bravery, honesty, and kindness.
Hi, I'm Austin Matthews. I was born on September 17th, 1997 in San Roman, California. When I was young, I played in one of the biggest youth leagues. I'm famous for being one of the best hockey players. If I could give one message to the world, it would be shoot for your dreams.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Clark. I was born on January 22nd, 2002 in Des Moines, Iowa. When I was young, I spent hours in the driveway shooting hoops. I'm famous for being an amazing basketball player. If I could give one message to the world, it would be shoot for the stars.
Hi, I'm Eleanor McGrath. I was born in 1888 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When I was young, I never gave up on my love of animals. I'm famous for being the first female vet in practice. If I could give one message to the world, it would be never give up on something you love. Just walk your way through it.
Hi, my name is Misty Copeland. I was born on September 10th, 1982 in Kansas City, Missouri. When I was young, I liked performing and doing gymnastics. I am famous for being the first African-American ballerina to get a lead role at the American Ballet Theater. If I could give one message to the world, it would be keep spinning, even when things get hard.
Hi, I'm J.K. Rowling. I was born on July 31st, 1965 in Yate, England. When I was young, I loved to read and write. I am famous for writing the Harry Potter series. If I could give one message to the world, it would be follow your dreams. You can write your own story.
Hi, I am Julia Child. I was born on August 15th, 1912 in Pasadena, California. When I was young, I ate a Caesar salad and watched other chef crack the eggs. I never forgot the way he cracked the eggs. I am famous for my many cookbooks and TV shows. If I could give one message to the world, it would be if you take time and care to do things, they will always come out as best as possible.
Hi, I'm Milton Hershey. I was born in September 13, 1857 in Pennsylvania. When I was young, I didn't finish school and go to work. I learned how to make candies. I'm famous for to make healthy chocolate. If I can give a message for the world, it will be never ever give up and work hard for your dreams.
Hi, my name is Lionel Messi. I was born on June 24th, 1987 in Rosario, Argentina. When I was young, I joined a soccer team when I was 6. I'm famous for being the best soccer player in the world. If I could give one message to the world, it would be if you can't score any goals, keep passing, and you could be amazing.
Hi, I'm Michael Jordan. I was born February 17, 1963 in Brooklyn, New York. When I was young, I played basketball for my high school team, but I had to try many times before making the team. I'm famous for my slam dunks and winning shots. If I could give one message to the world, it would be never give up on your dreams.
Hi, I'm Hale Udini. I was born on March 24th, 1834 in Budapest, Hungary. When I was young, I ran away to New York City to work at a tire factory. I'm famous for being an skateboarder and getting out of handcuffs. If I could give one message to the world, we ought to always try to achieve your goals because you don't know what magic you bring to the world.
Hi, I'm Steven Spielberg. I was born December 18th, 1946 in Cincinnati, Ohio. When I was young, I made a lot of homemade movies. One was even shown in the theater when I was 16. I'm known for making incredible movies and winning many Oscars. If I could give one message to the world, it would be, even if you might face rejection, keep trying. You never know what might be a hit.
Hi, I'm Frida Kahlo. I was born on July 6, 1907 in Mexico City. When I was young, I collected nature with my dad and painted them with watercolors. I'm famous for painting self-portraits. If I could give one message to the world, it would be to never give up because you could create something beautiful.
Hi, I'm Marie Curie. I was born on November 7, 1867 in Warsaw, Poland. When I was young, I loved to watch my dad do science. I am famous for discovering 2 elements that are radioactive. If I could give one message to the world, it would be to always stay curious and you might discover something new.
Hi, I'm Simone Biles. I was born on March 14th, 1997 in Columbus, Ohio. When I was young, I loved to jump and tumble. I'm famous for being an amazing gymnast, for being the first African American to win the world all-around title. If I can give one message to the world, it would be, if you lose your balance on the beam, then just bounce right back up.